As part of our 10th anniversary coverage of 9/11, we've come here to the Pentagon, which was struck that day by American Airlines Flight 77. It was a little after 9:35 in the morning. Both of the World Trade Center towers were already burning. And here, 64 passengers and crew on the airplane were killed, and another 125 were lost in this building. What happened next was a desperate and heroic search for survivors. Here's David Martin.
New video released by the FBI shows what was left after the irresistible force of a 90-ton airliner traveling at 530 miles per hour plowed into the immovable object called the Pentagon. 7,000 gallons of fuel sent up a 200-foot fireball, while the fuselage knifed through the ground floor, punching out this hole into an alleyway 210 feet inside the Pentagon.
There's broken bodies and pieces of airplane and piles of broken people. It was just horrific.
Admiral David Thomas was one of the first to arrive on the scene, driven by the knowledge that the Navy Command Center was inside that hole.
My best friend in life was on watch in the Navy Operations Center.
Thomas had just talked to Bob Dolan on the phone, telling him that with two planes already having hit the World Trade Center, they'd better skip their morning coffee break and remain at their desks.
The plane flew right exactly through the command center.
Jerry Henson was at his desk in the same offices as Bob Dolan.
It was just one loud kaboom, and then after that it was pretty much silent, except you could hear the pools of jet fuel exploding.
The alleyway where the airliner's landing gear came to rest offered an escape from the flames and smoke.
Some people had said that they'd heard voices in there, so we were trying to find a way in.
Navy Commander David Tarantino got there shortly after Admiral Thomas and realized that smoking hole could be an escape hatch.
This giant gaping hole, we figured, was our only way in to where other people were trapped, and so we got fire extinguishers and we started to fight our way in.
In the minutes after the plane struck, the Pentagon was an inferno, outside and in.
There were arcing wires, there was water dripping from burst pipes, some of the parts of the ceiling were melting and would drop down and melt through your skin.
As I'm screaming for my friend and looking where I think his desk is, I see what appears to be a face just sort of staring at me. He's obviously trapped. Part of a wall is trapped him to his desk in his chair.
My left ear was pinned to my shoulder, and I could feel very heavy things all over the other side of me. Also, I was pinned in my chair because the desk had leaped up and fell across the arms of the chair.
I get underneath it and I'm trying to lift it up. And I'm screaming, help, help, somebody come in here, help me. I can't lift this up. There's flames right behind him. I mean, he's about to burn at his desk. As I look over, here comes this other naval officer, this other guy.
Dave Tarantino.
Who turns out to be Dave Tarantino. And he comes crawling in like a commando. He gets underneath this thing and leg presses it. With all this stuff melting and coming down on top of us, it was just the most incredible feat of bravery I ever saw.
He lifted it up enough that I could move my chair back, and so then I kind of lunged over the arm of the chair.
And Dave finally drops this stuff and he comes scrambling out too.
And then just as we came out into here, that whole area kind of collapsed behind us, and we weren't able to go back in there and search for anyone else.
Bob Dolan, who had been Thomas's roommate at the Naval Academy, was still in there.
He was killed at his post in the Pentagon.
It saved your life.
Unquestionably. I was a dead guy sitting there, and there was nothing I could do about it till they came in and took care of me.
David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
The Pentagon was repaired in less than a year. And today, right at the impact point, there stands a chapel open to all faiths and holding daily meetings for Christians, Jews, and Muslims.